What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? DoctorDDub here, and welcome back to the forest. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to tell this, but it makes a huge difference in my eyes, at least. I don't know how well it'll convey to YouTube, but this just looks so much better. This is the first episode of The Forest I'm recording with my new graphics card, and oh my goodness, I got every setting on max, including anti-aliasing, which is usually like the biggest hit to your FPS when you turn that on. And it just looks so good. Like, the render distance is improved. We can see our starter home from here. And, like, our entire log storage area, given, like, some of the walls don't load in properly. But it's still being rendered, and it looks just so nice. Anyway, today is just me. And that actually kind of works out for what I had planned. So, I have been putting this off forever. And I've finally done it. The hunting lodge, minus one log, and a little bit of other things, you'll see once we get inside, is complete. And that's exciting. So I don't think the exterior has changed much at all. And looking at it straight on, it's not that different either. However, we have added a little staircase up to the dock, which is so nice. And then you can actually not spear fish from here. You have to get down in the water to do it. And the reason I have a log is because there's something I need to put a log in. But we'll come back and grab this in a second because it looks terrible. But now that we have this here, you can actually drink from the pond, which I shall commemorate the finishing of said hunting lodge by drinking disgusting, filthy water. Because what better way to celebrate, right? Anyway, if we enter in on the right side, you'll see. It's hard to see because it blends in with the wall behind it. But straight ahead, we now have some wall segments on the left and on the right. And I looked at the right when I said left and looked at the left when I said right. And I realized that, but that's okay. And then if we look up behind us here, this is how I went about finishing it. Is it perfect? No. Is it pretty good for the weird shape we're working with? I think so. So I did the slanted or the angled walls are resting on top of the roof that we did here, or I guess the ceiling. It's not actually the roof. And then this is a segment of 2 on the right, and then a segment of 3, and then a segment of 2, and then one log stuck in the corner there. And so you've got those sitting on top of the 2 logs, and then a segment of 3 and 2, respectively, right there, which I think look pretty nice, and I finished it off the same way. The only thing I haven't done, and this is part of the it's almost complete but not quite, is I attempted to put a staircase in here, and it doesn't work at all. So I'm going to have to chop at it one swing at a time and then repair everything else so I don't break anything unintentionally. And see if I can't get that to work any better, because I don't like having to jump over this. I'd like to be able to put one stair there, which is pretty difficult to do, and I might actually be able to get away with it by hitting it. You know what? Let's actually try this right now. We learned that lovely little trick of repairing things. So much stuff to repair. It's going to reposition it, but I don't think it actually changes where the stair rests, so maybe that won't work. But did you guys see that? This alone looks so much nicer. And it might just be me. But oh my gosh, like there's shadows on stuff, and it looks so good. Anyway, let's stop oodling our inventory and actually take a look at what we've done inside here. I think it came out pretty nice. There's room for improvement in places, but we've got some cabinets. I haven't stocked them yet. A table with a tucked-in chair, and you can actually sit at it, which is kind of cool. And I want to put something on the wall in front of here just so it's not totally blank and ugly. But just don't look at your arms, because they, like, go into the table. So we're not going to do that. Then, this being... Every time there's sticks in here. I love it. This being a hunting lodge, I decided to make some of the furniture out of the things we hunt. At least that's the role-playing I'm doing here. So we've got the chairs made out of the deer that we've been hunting, and then the bone chairs made out of the bones from the cannibals / campers. Ooh, if they ever come in here, this is going to be awkward. And then some leaves from the trees that we've been hunting. Oh, crap. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Come on, guys. I don't have time for this. Okay, this is really strange. I'm out here resetting the traps after that lovely charade. And, I don't know what I'm seeing here. I don't know if they're alive or dead. Not sure what's going on here, but, we'll leave them to it. That is all kinds of messed up. Anyway, I think that's all the traps fixed. If it's not, I don't care enough to continue. Oh, okay. I added the stairs on the back as well, which look and function nicely. Also, the lock is on the wrong side of the door. I don't know how we did that or how we didn't notice that sooner. But it is. So you can lock people inside from the outside. Not cool. Anyway, we've got another bone chair on this side. Actually, they're explosive holders, but I thought they looked kind of cool here. And then some armor stands, which I'm planning on putting... And actually, I don't know if I've tested this yet. Do I have the ability to... How many bones is it for bone armor? 6 bones. I have a couple extra bones here, though, I believe. Yes. I want to see if... Did I put 6 on there? Is that... Sure, we'll call that good. I don't know if you can put bone armor on these guys. You can. Which is perfect, because that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to do the animal-based armor that we're hunting on one guy. Cover this one entirely in lizard armor. And then cover this one entirely in bone armor. And I might add a third somewhere in here. If there's any room left. Maybe right here but on the wall between these guys. And do stealth armor. That could be kind of cool. I don't know. Just, it's something to fill the space. And then this right here is the last log that we need. But then this side is done more or less the same way. And the openings are centered from the hallways, which are more or less centered. They're not perfect, but that was the goal. Centering it in here is just not doable. There's no way, especially on this side. Like we have 5 logs here and 2 on the right. It just doesn't work. But when you're going down here, it looks pretty decent, I'd say. Oh, and then one other really cool feature that I will show you here in just a sec. I haven't even really looked at it much yet. Actually, 2 really cool features is if you look up on the walls. It's hard to see right now, but if we get closer, trophy, trophy, trophy. A bunch of places for animal heads. And not just animal heads, but cannibal heads too. And that reminds me, I haven't done this yet, and I'm going to add them right now just because I'm just now remembering to do so. But I want to make a focal point out of... Oh, these are going to look so creepy. A focal point out of the mutant heads. So I want to do them on this back wall here. And I'm spacing them out ever so slightly in no real order. And then maybe one up top. That could be kind of cool. There's a weird art to placing these, and I just messed that up terribly. So, can I cancel the right one? Almost got it. That was strange, looking through the wall like that. Okay, let's do this one right there. Beautiful. And those will be for the 3 different mutants. Armsy, Armsy, Cowman, and Virginia. And then we've got this lovely couch right here to stare at our beautiful fireplace, which I thought it'd be a good idea to put the deer and rabbit skins on it. And initially it was. When I placed them, they looked pretty dang good. Like, almost no clipping. Apparently, upon saving and reloading the game, like I'm loaded into it and I'm recording now, it looks terrible again. So that's unfortunate. Maybe I'll do that all the way up. But, and it doesn't line up perfectly. I just heard a low grumble and thought it was something in game. It was a motorcycle outside. If I had lined this up slightly off-center to the left, I think it would have looked a little bit nicer. I tried centering it, and I think I did a decent job centering it, but it goes all the way up, all the way out onto the roof, and through the roof, and even at night, I don't know if we'll be able to see into it. I did have a temporary little thing to get up here. I put, and it's hard to see through the, you can kind of see it if I get the angle just right. There's a fire in there to give the illusion that it's always being lit from outside. It'll glow, and there's no way to keep it eternally lit, unfortunately. But that is our hunting lodge. I didn't think we can... Yeah, okay, we take damage from that. I hope you guys like it. That took forever to... Not to decorate. It took me probably an hour and a half with all the gathering of logs and all the trips to decorate. But I think it came out pretty nice, and I hope you guys agree. I'm very pleased with it. So now the only thing that's left is to finish off the 2 steps into the hallways. That's going to take some fiddling with to get accurate. I'll show those once they're done if anyone even cares. And then slowly but surely, as we kill animals, we need to put their heads up on the walls. And as we kill mutants, we have 3 spots for those guys as well. But there's what? Seagull heads, turtle heads, crocodile heads, boar heads. I don't know if you can mount a raccoon head on the wall. It'd be cool if you could put a fish on the wall. I could even go back through and add just some decorative skulls as well. As a not quite trophy, but it'd be something. Oh, alright, so that does it for the hunting lodge. And because it is just me today, I didn't want to start any new project, because starting a project, especially with the scope of this summer camp, by oneself is quite a daunting task, and it is a lot more work and takes a lot more time by yourself. But one thing that doesn't take nearly as long is building prefabricated cabins, which is what we're going to do. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and we just haven't. And I'm going to replace some of this path, and I'm not going to build it, and I'm not even probably going to replace it. I'm just going to eyeball it and then place the cabins where I need to. But currently we're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the 2 in the trees. And I think that's a pretty solid number. I don't think we've had 8 people in the game. I'm not going to try listing everyone that's been in to help out off right now. But eventually, I can see us having all 8 of these being occupied by someone. And I know the whole counselor camper relation, those building the summer camp, myself and friends, are the counselors, quote unquote. So we already have our housing in these 3 buildings here. And then these would be for the campers. And maybe we'll still play it off that way. But what I'm thinking could be fun. Actually, you know what? Let me just start getting to build this. And I'll talk about what the plan is for this as we go. How's that sound? I'm going to go ahead and start by grabbing log sleds and just putting blueprints into them, filling them up, and then some of them will need to be repositioned ever so slightly. Not drastically, but a little bit, just to make sure they line up with what I have envisioned as the final path eventually. But yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and do a time lapse. I'm not going to make it too fast because it can get kind of nauseating from first person to do a time lapse. But we're going to do a time lapse of this. So, let's do it. Alright, so the plan for all 8, potentially 9 of these log cabins that are intended for the quote-unquote campers of the summer camp is to just build these prefab log cabins for simplicity, to make them all the same. You know, if it were an actual summer camp, or at least any of the summer camps I've been to, not a single one of these cabins would get any sort of special treatment or whatever. They'd all be the same, at least from the outside. And that's kind of the goal for this, is to have a bunch of identical, not unique at all, cabins that will be for the campers to reside in so that none of them feel any more special than the others. But if we just left it at that, that'd be kind of boring. They do function by themselves just fine, but we're not going to leave it at just that. So we've had at least half a dozen different individuals come in and join for different episodes and help out and farm logs and all that jazz. And so, assuming everyone's up for it, and any that don't get taken up, well, let me backtrack. The goal, or at least the vision I have, is for each person to decorate one as much as they desire. And I did literally just get done saying that I would like them to all look identical from the outside, but now that I'm thinking about it, it could be kind of cool if people not did a ton around the outside, but maybe a little bit of exterior modification. I don't know what people can come up with, but that's up to them, not me. But potentially that could work. But basically, give everyone a cabin of their own. So everyone's got their own space, and I don't even think I'll step foot in them, period. I think it'd be kind of cool just to say, you know, I'll go by priority of who joined first. So whoever joined first, I think it was Cat Bodsat, I'll give her first pick of cabins, and then as people joined the series, I'll let them pick their cabin. I want to get them all finished first before I do that. But everyone will have a cabin that is theirs to decorate as they see fit, and I think it'd be fun if I never stepped foot inside of them until all of them are decorated. And assuming we have 8 here right now, plus the 2 in the trees makes 10, and maybe I'll add an 11th, I think, potentially. I don't know. Either way, that's 10 plus cabins to decorate. And if we don't have 10 plus people that end up joining and helping out, then that leaves some empty ones. And those empty ones I will probably furnish myself. Or if someone wants to do 2, maybe that can happen as well. But someone else, they'll get decorated is what I'm trying to say. But basically, I won't step inside or step foot inside any of the ones that are being decorated by people that are helping out. And then once they're all fully decorated, we could do like a reveal video of how everyone decided to decorate their interior. Maybe we could even make a competition out of it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. We could vote on it or something. I don't want to be the sole judge. That's not fair. But we could do a poll and people could vote for whoever has the best looking cabin, or we could give like consolation prizes like quirkiest or most terrifying to live in. I don't know. Just random stuff. I'm thinking of like random awards that could be given out. I don't know. We could make a whole thing out of it, and that could be kind of fun. But in addition to the cabins themselves, obviously we have this pathway around the pond that we keep going over, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I think it'd be nice to do something else around here. I don't know what, some sort of focal something. So if anyone has any ideas of what else we could do in this area, there is some space between some of the cabins for, I don't even know what, a bench or something. But something else to just spruce up this area. I'm drawing blanks right now as to what that something would be. But if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. But yeah, this is the cabin. Yeah, this is the counselor cabin area. Just kidding, not counselor cabin. This is the camper cabin. Camper cabin circle? Is that a... I don't know. And I'm debating coming up with names for every area of the camp. Now that I say that, like names for the buildings and name them after people, and I don't know. It could be fun. But that is totally irrelevant. And it looks like we're coming to a close here with the time lapse. So I will rejoin you in non-time lapse form right now. And with that, we're 3 logs short, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cabins done. I am going to add stairs to the front, obviously, but I want to wait till I get this path laid first. I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer to the water, probably about this distance right here, all the way around, and make it a little bit more circular around the lake, or the little pond. It's not a lake. And as I mentioned in the time-lapse, there's going to be a walkway that connects up to here. I'm thinking I'll bring it from here, just because of how convenient this is, and that's where I've been running. We'll just run it straight through here. And maybe even another one going up to the gate from there. I don't know. I don't think we'll be going that way too often. But from a camp perspective, it makes sense. I don't think I mentioned that, but that might be a thing. And then obviously we'll have this path over here that's already laid, running out to our campfire, like I mentioned. And then the reason I pushed this one back is because it's got to have stairs, and I didn't want them at too steep of an angle. This walkway will be... Wow. This walkway will be being brought in towards the water a little bit, maybe by like a rock or two, so it won't be too steep of a staircase. But compared to these, obviously it's going to be a little bit steeper. And I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a walkway around here to the back, just for this little guy. I hadn't thought of it until just now, but I'm thinking it's going to need some sort of walkway to get to it. So we'll have to tweak this as well a little bit. I'm probably going to do all the path and the rest of the cabins off camera at some point. I'm not going to promise I'll get it done before next episode, because we all know how good at that I am. It's a lot of work, as you guys just saw. And that's all the logs that we have over here, at least. We have another raft full, so that's another entire log storage full, another 16 racks. And then we have another 16 racks back at the log farming area. Oh, and the log farming area, I'll have to take you guys over there with me one day. It's looking terrible. Like, the entire cannibal village just obliterated of trees. Not a single one near it. It's kind of awesome in a terrible kind of way. But yeah, now that we've got these built, people can start decorating them. It's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. There's not a whole lot of space to them, so that'll force people's creativity, which is kind of neat. And the windows are they're just lovely. I like this place a lot. It's cozy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's where I'm going to end for today. We made some good progress. We finished our first and then completely built two and almost finished one. I was half tempted to go just cut down a tree somewhere and bring back the logs for it. But I want to keep all the trees possible. I only want to cut the ones from our log farming area. So I resisted, and I didn't. But anyway, I think it's looking nice. This area is going to be pretty cozy looking once it's done. And I might add another one right here just to fill out this space. I think it'll work. I don't have anything else planned for right here. So that will probably be what happens. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining on today's, not quite adventure, but recapping, building, time-lapsing episode. I hope you enjoyed. And if you didn't, hopefully it'll be more exciting next time. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. And until then, as always, take care.